only thing we have to
Beer.
is
Beer.
itself.
Beer. So many choices.
Only no function beer well without.
Woohoo! Beer! Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Busters. We're going to bring you the news and reviews of your favorite brews. My name is Dan Baker and I am joined by my co-host and brewologist,
Steph Hefner.
and of course the demented and fermented
Wayne Baker.
We have traveled far and wide to get to this recording. We've gone to Pottstown, sort of a halfway point between where we all live.
I'll take it as a halfway point.
I think
actually, it is kind of a halfway point.
I think it's geographically halfway, but like traffic-wise,
traffic sucks no matter which way you're
That's
coming
That
from.
is true.
That's
It
true.
took way too long to get here on a weird route, but I'm happy
But
we're finally here.
You literally hit the button at 7 o'clock. We're fucking punctual tonight.
holy shit. And
Yeah.
Steph knows that because she had to take a pill right at 7
That's
o'clock.
true.
Hashtag I'm old.
She didn't share.
She did not share.
You don't want that pill.
No, because that's why she can't drink so much, is because of those pills.
Well, if we're in Pottstown, that means that we are, of course, at Pottstown United Brewing, and it's been a long road getting to here, but we have the man himself joining us.
Steve Armstrong.
Steve, thank you so much for having us out here, man.
Yay.
No, man, my pleasure, man. I'm happy to see you guys.
Likewise. It's been far too long. Now, longtime listeners will remember it's been about 5 years.
Yeah.
It was that winter was the last time we had you on. Now,
Yep.
that
Yeah.
summer of 2013 was when you were our first on-location recording onto
Via
Steph's
my
iPhone,
iPhone.
and we were at Armstrong Ales.
Yes, we were.
And we spliced it into, what, episode 9
8.
or something? 8?
It was episode 8, and it was called Beercules.
That's right, because of the Armstrong.
Armstrong.
Yes,
Yeah.
I remember that. Man, back when we did those ever so clever puns.
Yeah.
But it's been a long road, man. I'm happy to be here. Now, we're recording in the basement, which is the brew space, and I have not been upstairs yet. So I'm really looking forward to getting up there and looking at the
Oh,
place
man.
before
That's
we
right.
leave.
You
Yeah,
haven't
you gotta
even-
get
Yeah,
up
we
there.
haven't been
Yeah.
here yet. But I've seen the pictures. It's beautiful up there from what I can tell.
We
Yeah.
snuck
Thank you.
in through the back
It's a
door.
cool space.
Yeah, it's true. We snuck through the back door.
Now, last time I was here, your dad was here, so I'm a little disappointed that he's not here.
Well, my mom keeps him pretty occupied with social events on the weekends, so it's hard
Oh,
to get
good
him.
for them.
Yeah, it's hard to get him. It's hard to get him here anyhow. But no, you should. He's a great guy. I can't say enough about him.
Your
so.
dad is freaking awesome.
Yeah, he is.
We love
He
him.
is.
He has a special place in the Beer Busters heart.
That's awesome.
Next time, we'll just have him on the show. And not Steve.
Yeah, you probably would. It'd probably be a better time.
Completely.
That.
Nah, my dad's awesome. He's funny as hell.
Well, we've got a lot that we have to get to. So, of course, you out there listening to this, just remember, you can find us on the internet besides your podcast app. We are at Beer Busters on the Twitter and the Instagram. We are facebook.com/BeerBustersPodcast. We're also BeerBustersPodcast.com. And that number that has not gotten any love lately, 805-991-BEER, 805-991-2337 is where you can text us. You can leave a voicemail. Make it good, people.
We still need suggestions for the onesie.
It's true.
Steph has to wear if we get a patron donation of $100. Mm-hmm. You get to choose the onesie, so we need suggestions.
She seems so thrilled
Or
by
I
that.
could just rewear the Chewy one.
You could.
I
That's
do
an
like that
option.
onesie.
That's an option.
That is definitely an option.
You should
but
just
yeah,
make it like a male romper.
there you go.
Didn't they call that a romp him?
A romp
Is that what they were calling them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
A romp him and a
Romp
man's
him.
ear.
A man's ear.
A bro.
Make this stop.
Speaking of Patreon, you can go there on the internet as well. Go to patreon.com/beerbusters to find out what you get for becoming a patron of the podcast.
I'll show you what you get.
We show you what you get. Helps us keep the train running here, pay all our expenses to bring you this awesome content, and you get more content. If you're a patron, of course, you get Last Call, our bonus portion of the podcast that we record at the end of every episode when we're a little sauced and we get into crazy shenanigans. Patreon.com/beerbusters.
Now, we do have a sipping beer, which, my God, he's already done sipping.
Oh,
Good job, Steve.
I didn't have to set up.
That's true. That's true. Now, you started us off with the Kolsch, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
I'm digging it, man. I'm loving it.
It's delicious.
Thank you. Yeah, it's I put a little bit more probably finishing hops than what a Kolsch really deserves, but it's all made with all 100% whole melon.
Or more hops in a Kolsch than the hops deserve.
Yeah, that's you know what?
Let's put that correctly.
That's probably right. No, but yeah, put a whole melon in there, so you get a little bit of free hop, and that's pretty much it. 100% whole melon, 100% Pilsner, and Kolsch yeast.
And what is it called?
It's called Mornings with Ron. because Ron was a bartender for a while. He was very over the top with a lot of things, and he's a great guy. He just recently moved on to other jobs, but he was. We thought it'd be pretty funny to call Mornings with Ron because we're pretty sure that when he was getting here, he was drinking a beer or two before his shift, which is fine, but it's just kind of funny. So.
Very cool. Love it.
It's a little better than like Ron's breakfast.
Right, exactly.
That might be a little too
exactly,
much.
right.
That
It
is
would
true.
be. It would be. Because we wanted to like ease you into the drinking day. You
Yes.
know? It's morning with Ron.
Kolsch is a
I
good
like
way
that.
to do that.
Right.
I like that.
Do all Rons love breakfast?
Do all breakfast love Ron?
Touche.
I don't know.
Does anyone not love breakfast?
That is an even better question. I'm looking forward to making breakfast tomorrow morning / afternoon.
I like going out for breakfast.
This is
I
true.
don't like making breakfast.
Well,
it
yeah.
depends.
Well, it's the dishes you have to worry
Yeah.
about.
Well,
Yeah.
during the week, my breakfast is a protein shake. Like that's it, and a banana.
I don't eat breakfast during the week.
Weekends, I'm like, where are we going for breakfast?
Obviously,
Usually it's the
Tomcat.
The Tomcat.
Right on.
Plug for the Tomcat.
Yes, we love it there. Well, we do have a lot to get to, so why don't we do this? There's a couple of things I wanted to bring up. One, I think is pretty interesting. Over in the UK, Kellogg's is doing a little bit to make sure that food consumers aren't producing too much waste. They're making sure that the carbon footprint will soon be able to offset some of the food waste that's out there. They are taking discarded cornflakes and they're finding a way to put that into beer
Interesting.
and create a beer off of that. The article goes on, as shoppers increasingly worry about the environmental impact of their purchase, companies have had to find creative ways to minimize food waste. The cereal company is the latest to join this trend, making beer out of the cornflakes at their factories, which would otherwise be waste product. It's called Throwaway IPA. It's made by Seven Brothers Brewery in Manchester. Uses, quote, upcycled cornflakes, which are too big or too small or overcooked to go into a box of breakfast cereal.
Oh, so these
As
are the reject cornflakes
Exactly.
from the cornflake factory or
kind of
whatever.
like Godiva won't sell you an imperfect piece of chocolate. They
Right.
will just like toss it or sell it to their employees for cheaper.
Yeah. I used to random aside, used to work near a Godiva plant.
Yeah.
And the workers used to come by and just share all these really cheap / free
Yeah.
chocolates they would get. It was
Yeah.
really cool.
When I worked at the movie theater, one of the dudes there also worked at Godiva, and he would bring in just bags
Yeah.
of chocolate. Doesn't taste any different, but they can't sell it because it
Because
doesn't
it's
look
just
pretty.
not. Yeah. They don't make beer out of it though.
They should.
Maybe they
Should
should. Maybe
they?
they put the cornflakes in the beer with it. You know?
Yeah.
Like a chocolate cornflake beer?
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Kellogg
I like that.
Godiva collaboration beer.
I mean, I can only
Yeah.
imagine it would taste like Budweiser, like hopped up, if
Yeah.
it's an IPA, because it's just
Yeah.
corn. You
Yeah,
know?
so
Pretty
is
much.
that what they're doing? Is that I mean, I assume they're using it in the green bill.
A spokesperson for Kellogg said that around 30% of the grain content of the beer will be cornflakes
Okay.
and 70% wheat. It's added during the mash and reportedly sweetens the taste a little bit. The IPA, which is cornflake golden in color, is also helping food distribution charity Fair Share, as in England, 10 cents from each can purchase is going to be donated to the cause. So look at that. You get to drink a beer while making sure that we're not like going crazy with food waste and food byproducts.
How much like fermentables do cornflakes actually add? I wonder though. Like,
I would assume a lot. I mean,
Is
the
that-
big three use corn in their beers pretty regularly because of the fermentable sugars.
but is there anything in like the process of making a cornflake that would change?
From what I understand,
Yeah.
all a cornflake is just like it's a rolled corn, and that what they add steam to it, they roll it, and then they bake it.
Right, and it's like super dry
Oh.
and it just flakes.
There's no sugar in it.
I mean, I would imagine they put sugar in it. I don't know their exact process. I didn't go to cornflake school, but
That is the thing, though. Like, I wonder at what point they're rejecting these flakes. Like, is there more? It's like-
Oh my god.
is there more process after this point? Like, are they rejected, and then the ones that aren't rejected get sugar added or get this added, or is this like at the end of the process, right before it goes in the box? Could you just take a box of cornflakes and like dump it in like?
well, yeah. I mean, they're doing all sorts of cereal beers now.
Yeah,
They're
that's
doing
true.
like
Yeah, we've seen
Frankenberries
that.
and all sorts of other
I
Fruity
mean,
stuff.
Pebbles.
okay, this is the thing though. You could dump anything in the mash of a beer.
That's true.
and it doesn't really matter. But is it like really doing something? Is the
Well, it's going to add some
Yeah.
sort of fermentables to it. I mean, there's a reason why they call them cereal grains.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
made out of barley, wheat,
I thought you said you didn't go to Kellogg school.
I didn't. I didn't. Wayne.
He's allowed to be smart regardless.
Yeah.
No, that's interesting. I wonder. I wonder if the beer's any good though.
I would imagine it. Well, especially with wheat. I mean,
Yeah.
imagine it would be very, very light. Mm-hmm. Is there an alcohol content on that?
I didn't see it. Let me go back to that article.
First rule is you never ask Dan a follow-up question.
Right,
about any story.
exactly.
No, I do not see one.
You don't see one.
Huh. But yeah, I imagine it's very, very light. I mean, that's what they use in Budweiser is 6-row rice and corn.
Yeah.
For not going to Kellogg school, you sure know a lot about it. I mean, hats off to you.
Yeah, no, I eat a lot of cereal.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
All that was on the box.
I know, exactly. They took away all my games, and there's nothing else to do.
Oh, that was fun.
God. In other beer news, Asheville, North Carolina's Lexington Avenue Brewery, also known as Lab, is now changing hands. It is now a part of Canarchy, the craft beer collective that includes Oscar Blue, Cigar City, Perrin Brewing Company, Squatters Craft Beers, Wasatch Brewery, and Deep Ellum, as well as 3 Weavers. Lab has called Asheville home for more than 9 years now. Mike Healy, the owner of Lab, says it's time for him to do something new. After 9 years at Lab with a new baby at home, I'm looking for a change. I believe I'm leaving Lab in good hands with Canarchy. They have experience running successful brew pubs. Plus, they'll put time and resources into creating exciting new brews and experiences for craft beer drinkers in Asheville. Canarchy is going to do a full renovation of the brew pub, which includes expanding seating as well as brewing capacity and renaming it to the Canarchy Collaboratory.
Wow,
I kind of like that.
That's
pretty cool.
That's a lot of pun.
I wonder
per
if they're
syllable.
going to keep they have a really fucking awesome bar. It's like a big, it's like a piece of art.
It's like a big piece of art.
Yeah, and it would be
I wish people could see
For the listeners at
I don't even
home,
know how
Steph
to
is making
fucking describe it.
curvy, swirly motions
Yeah.
in the air.
There you go.
With her hand.
It's
Curly and
really
swervy?
cool.
It's
and it's
curly,
right near the
swervy
mellow mushroom.
Abstract art.
Yes. Now, okay, so Canarchy, we know it's independent craft brewers that are more or less joining forces against the growing community of craft beer that has sold to larger conglomerates. Mm-hmm. At what point do we think
In
Canarchy,
the process, becoming a larger conglomerate.
Yeah, when does
themselves.
Canarchy get too big? Because this is now 6
Yeah, but don't we need
in the collective?
to get bigger?
Yeah.
To have a hope of competing with big beer?
Because it's not like those.
Doesn't beer need to get bigger, period, to compete with every other alcoholic beverage being made on Earth?
This is true.
Beer's still the underdog.
But these collectives aren't. This isn't consolidation. Like, you know what I
Right,
mean? Like,
yes.
these breweries are
That's
still
a good
remaining independent. They're still they have their own brands. It's almost like a guild, but like on a business side, like a shared ownership. But a lot of these partnerships, like the breweries, retain their individual identities. They retain, like, you know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah.
Well, it's becoming like a management thing at that point. I mean, I don't know. I've heard some things with a lot of different management companies taking over these breweries, and a lot of things change. I don't want to name any names, but there's a very large nationwide distributed, actually partially into Europe too, brewery right down the road here, a little bit farther south than not north, but from what I understand, like their whole what do you call it, marketing and graphic design end of the business has been completely changed. I know one of the guys pretty well. Used to come into a bar. Used to bartend for, and was telling me all about it last time I saw him, and how many changes have happened. Because I guess it became a lot more corporate and not as friendly with the staff. A lot how to it was more come up with some sort of weird idea and then make the brewers try to, without even consulting the brewers, and just trying to
You have to do.
you
this.
have to do this. It's not like it's not the creative. It's not what craft beer is all about. Where it's like the brewers do what they want, and then the marketing has to just kind of go around that. It was from the opposite end of things.
direction.
Exactly
Yeah.
right. So
Yeah.
it became kind of like very
Like every beer has to be a New England IPA now.
well, duh.
And that's the sort of like an organization, and I feel like that's there a lot of investment firms that were buying stakes in breweries. They're only a horse in the race. They just want to make money. Like they're just investing in a business that they think is going to become more and more profitable.
Exactly.
And in that situation, you have the guy that comes in and sits you down and says, "What would you say you do here?"
Right. Exactly.
And there's that sort of like restructuring. Right. So I don't know, but some of these breweries that are collectives is the word I was looking for. I would hope that they're driven more by giving smaller craft breweries a bigger voice and being able to go up against
more
the big
shelf
guys,
space,
and to compete more competitively in the market. But yeah, I mean, there does come a point I think where it's inevitable that profits become
right,
more
because
important.
I mean when you're growing by double digits, a year, and then you slow down to just under 9%, 8% or whatever, those margins become tighter and tighter and tighter. I mean, even though you have the economy of scale, you want to get out more and more and more and more and more, right? Because it becomes a percentage at some point, and not the actual physical dollars entering one hand to the other.
Right.
So.
And I mean, it comes to a point where it's less about, we make enough money to pay our staff well to live comfortably, to keep the lights on and make good beer. And then when you have another interest comes in, yes, but let's make more money. Let's make more money next year. And let's make more money next year.
Exactly. Let's keep growing. Because, in business, if you're stagnant or you're not growing, you're failing.
Pretty much, yeah. How many other collectives are there that we remember? So there's Canarchy, there's
Victory
and Southern Tier.
I forget what that's called.
Same here.
There's
some independents.
whatever Red Hook is under. That's been around for a while.
Oh, that's right.
The Brewers Alliance or Craft Beer Alliance or something like that.
Along those lines.
There's like the Vermont one with like Saranac and I think Walliver's and another one too. It's been around forever.
Yeah. What do we do if the collectives join forces?
I don't know.
Does that they become Cybertron then?
Yeah, no.
Actually, interestingly enough, this happened all in Europe back in the 1800s.
Your biological
in the early 1900s.
distinctiveness will be added to our own.
Yeah, actually, believe it or not, I think I remember reading that AB InBev started out as a goose producer in Belgium.
I did not know that.
Well, their base beer is a Belgian beer.
That's right.
They're still Belgian at heart.
Yeah. Well, in other beer news, before we go back to everything that's in hand here at Pottstown United, Sierra Nevada has stepped up and put out a call to the craft beer community, which I think is great. They are creating a beer and inviting other brewers around the country to create the beer called Resilience. It's an IPA brewed to support the everyone impacted by the campfire out in California. The wildfire, dubbed as Campfire, it started in the hills above Sierra Nevada Brewing Company's Chico facility, November 8th of 2018. The fire burned over 153,000 acres, killed 88 people, and destroyed more than 9,700 homes. And nearly 14% of the staff at Sierra Nevada have been displaced. And while it's mostly contained, there's still a lot of dangers that are still going to affect the region that's already been devastated just by the fire itself. And now there's downpours that are causing flooding and mudslides with all the debris, which is just absolutely terrible. So Sierra Nevada stepped up, asked breweries to help brew this beer around the country, and Pennsylvania breweries did, in fact, step up.
A lot of them. So, and that there was a specific day, right? That's already happened.
It already happened, and by the time this comes out, it will obviously be further in the past.
And it was Resilience IPA?
Yes, Resilience IPA. Just to name a few: Trogs, Molly Pitcher, Evergreen, Millworks, Zero Day, Pizza Boy, Springhouse, Twisted Vine, Cox Brewing, Fetish Brewing, Moo Duck, Union Barrel Works, Whacker, Mad Chef, Columbia Kettle Works, Black Forest Brewery, Lancaster Brewing, Funk Brewing, Boobies, and Poor Man's Brewing.
La Cabra, I think, did it too.
Did they? I didn't see
well,
that.
These were all the Lancaster County brewers.
I got this from,
they did it together. They brewed it at Boniface, didn't they?
I think so, yeah.
The same Boniface.
Which is weird that they didn't get a shout out in this article.
I was going to say I felt like a slacker. I was like, man, I didn't do anything.
But it's great to see that the community is stepping up. The article I'm looking at is from It's a Brew Life, which is Chelsea and Derek Markle's website. But they have a nice little write-up about it. They have a picture of some of the breweries that were there and some of the brewers. And it's great to see craft beer paying back to a community that we don't even really have anything to do with out here. But that's what I love about craft beer. We'll go to bat for each other anywhere around the country and go for a good cause.
It's cool to see an industry like craft beer that is still, even as it grows and grows and changes, still the type of community where Sierra Nevada can say, hey, we have this great idea. We're all going to brew this beer to raise money and help with this, terrible disaster that's going on. And everybody's like, yeah, cool, we're on board. Like, we'll totally brew that beer. We'll totally do it. Like,
there's a nice quote in the article from Jeff at Millworks. I know it's been said a million times about the brewing community. We're in this together. When we harness our craft for a good cause, that's even better. That's a good point. Well said, Jeff. Very well said. So ways that you can support the cause out there. If you're not a brewer, you can buy the beer. Obviously, buy the beer. You can pre-order a T-shirt from Sierra Nevada's website. You can show solidarity and homebrew your own version of it. And, of course, you can spread the word.
That's a cool idea, homebrew your own version.
I really like it.
Is there a kit that you can buy?
Sierra Nevada has put together a homebrew recipe for Resilience IPA. But you can't legally sell it, of course, but you can raise awareness. So they have the recipe, but you got to get your own.
They should make the
supplies
kits.
for it. Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, I would imagine. I would just, I don't know, maybe like Midwest Brewing Supplies or whatever. would
Yeah, or
make a
like
kit.
Brooklyn or somebody.
Right,
That'd be
exactly.
cool.
Yeah. The other way, of course, is spread the word. Use the hashtag Resilience IPA and hashtag Beer for Good on your social media. So kudos to everybody involved in that. But hey, that brings us to where we are. We are, in fact, at Pottstown United. It's been a long time coming. It's been so long, Steve, since we had you on the show.
Yeah, I think it's what you said, 5
About
years?
5 years,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's been a long time. Long time.
So I know it's obviously been a long journey, and there was something I was thinking of earlier. We were, I guess it's probably about 2 years ago, at the Pottstown Brew Fest or whatever it was down here.
Oh, the spaghetti beer or whatever.
Yes,
Yeah.
you
That
had
was the
pizza beer.
pizza beer.
Pizza beer.
Pizza shop beer,
And
that's right.
every time I'd ever had pizza beer, it was just absolutely disgusting, except for yours. You got it right.
Well, thank you.
It was incredible, and I don't know how you did it, but you were
was
just
really
a
good.
goddamn magician like that.
Well, you know what?
It was the basil.
I actually used it. Well, it was, I used a lot of basil and I used a lot of oregano, and I actually put some garlic and onions in the boil. But I actually used a lot of tomatoes in the mash from Rofo Tomato Company down in Royersford. Like, local guy. He this guy's a school teacher, right? And he grows tomatoes in his yard to help pay for, living. He also does a fence company, and he's a great guy. Like, and I'm like, and I was there like, yo, everyone calls him Tomato Joe because
Tomato Joe.
Tomato
Oh,
Joe.
that's awesome.
Yeah, so like I bought all these tomatoes, and I think 5 or 6 pounds of tomatoes, threw it in the mash, and called it a day, because like we said earlier about what goes into the mash, all those sugars get broken down, and that actually had this nice like the tomato smokiness you can get sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It actually added that to the beer, because the base was just base malts. I don't think I added any crystal malts or any other adjuncts or anything like that to it. And I just basically what goes on a pizza and made it a beer.
Yeah.
You just need pepperoni next time.
See, what
Right.
goes on a pizza?
What goes on a pizza?
Pepperoni garnish on the next one.
Well, actually, that'd be a good idea. Maybe I'll do that here.
So, on the glass.
That'd be
a good idea.
awesome.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of sausage too.
Yeah. What I remember about that beer, especially, is that when you go into a really nice mom and pop corner pizza shop, the smell and the beer captured that perfectly.
Yeah, it did.
You raised it up to your, to drink, and you get that aroma, and it was just like you felt like you were in a really nice pizza shop. It was really, really cool. The only other pizza beer I've ever even heard of is that Mamma Mia's pizza beer, which I heard is disgusting.
Well, the problem is most of the ones that do tomatoes just wind up being overly acidic, in my experience.
Ketchup, like a bad sour.
Yeah, exactly. But this, it did it right. Oh, it was so good.
That was
thank
good.
you.
That was memorable.
I'm glad you guys
Definitely.
liked
You
it.
should do it again, and you should let me know when you do.
Yeah, actually, that sounds like a plan. Maybe I will.
I'll even bring my own pepperoni if I need to.
Okay, maybe we'll have to be
I'll
after.
bring
next.
my own vegan pepperoni.
There you go.
BYOP.
Do they even make that?
Yes.
What's it made out of?
I don't freaking know.
Other vegans. It's technically vegan pepperoni.
Shut that
Do you
up.
put like
that.
do you put like an Impossible Burger on it or something like that?
Oh, that would be awesome.
That would be cool.
Impossible
awesome.
pepperoni.
right.
Oh my
That
god.
would be amazing. So I guess for our listeners that don't know you, I mean, we assume they all should, because why wouldn't they? But I guess we should give them a little bit of history. So you previously had Armstrong Ales.
Yep.
Which was technically, was that Royersford or was that?
No, that was technically Phoenixville.
It was technically
it
Phoenixville?
It was in East Pikeland Township, so
Yeah.
it's just outside the borough.
And that was open until 2015.
That's correct.
That closed up.
Yep.
And then you kept saying, I'm going to open another place, I'm going to open another place, I'm going to open another place. And we kept stalking you and begging you and asking you. And And finally, lo and behold, 2018 comes around, and now we're at Pottstown United Brewing.
Yep, it finally happened. It was a little bit of a long road, but 3-year turnaround from closing one brewery to open another one was pretty good, I think.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty impressive.
Especially trying to get funding, coming up with business plans, making sure borough and everything like that is all in order, and building it out myself, and with the help of my dad, my amazing dad that you talked about earlier. He is amazing. And an uncle, and hired out a Finnish carpenter, and here we are. So that's about it.
So what did you learn from owning and running Armstrong Ales that helped you to successfully open Pottstown United?
Well, I was kind of naive when I opened up Armstrong Ales. I thought that the American dream was still around, where you could just open shit up and just do it.
And you make money.
And you make money, That's not the case anymore. I mean, you really need to beg the powers to be that, to allow you to do things in whatever township that you are in. And, it does work, and there's a reasons why they go about doing the way they do things, because basically it keeps everyone else off your back. You don't get the angry neighbor, and everything like that. So it becomes a nightmare. So there are rules for everyone to go by, which is cool. But that was the biggest thing that I learned was that making sure that that's all in order is pretty important. I thought that I was in good shape down there at Armstrong, and turned out that the place that I was zoned for wasn't zoned to put a tasting room in, and I found out the hard way.
I vaguely remember that from when we were there, because you were saying you were having some issues with the zoning, so you couldn't sell the beer
right
out of there, but you had distributed.
I could distribute it,
right?
If I could produce and distribute it. So their argument is that no retail sales could happen in that building because of the zoning. However, there were 2 other companies within the same tax parcel that did retail sales out of that facility, and that's where my argument. That's I got into a 2-year, pissing contest with them, and. I can't pee that far, okay?
Something I've learned is the government can always pee further.
Yeah, the government can pee pretty far.
Yeah, exactly. But no, when a door shuts, a window opens. So
exactly.
Here we are.
And here we are now. This. So you said building the building out, and you meant that literally. You did most of the work.
I did all the demolition. I shored up the building. It was actually falling in on one side. Between the second and third floor, me and my buddy dug out all these drains that were sitting. That actually Wayne's about ready to fall into.
Got a good 3 or 4 inches.
Yeah, right. We dug them all out, put all the drains in, and the ejector pump. I did all the ductwork upstairs. I did the HVAC. I designed and installed the glycol system. With the help of Takeo Manufacturing. Also, the brewing system I designed and had that produced in China and shipped over here. And, did all the supply plumbing, did all the general carpentry, did, all that good stuff. So, and all the electric, too, with the help of my uncle, who did all the service entrances. We put 2 new services in, electric services, and I did all the gas piping here. For the new gas meter, and organized it all and got it all together. So
there was your resume right there, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
Shit Steve can do.
Yeah, right.
Well, I remember it reminds me of South County when we were first there, and we talked to JR about how him and his family and stuff pretty much built the place themselves, and being able to do that. I mean, that saves you time, it saves you money, and it gives you, I think, a level of control that you wouldn't get if you were just hiring contractors to come in. Yeah.
I mean, I know exactly what's going to happen. I know probably, where my strengths and weaknesses of the building are, and I can pretty much rest assured that nothing's really going to break, So,
and if it does, you can't blame anyone.
Exactly, right. I can blame myself,
See, if I did it, would be the exact opposite. I would know for a fact things would break.
Right. Don't sell yourself short.
There's tutorials on YouTube, Dan. It's fine.
Right, exactly.
And what was
How do you
this
think I learned how to do it?
Well, yeah, now that you embrace
Now that
technology.
he's not a Luddite.
Exactly.
It's also how you learned about Kellogg's.
What was this building before?
This
you guys
building,
bought
so before we bought it, was a jewelry store, Warwick Jewelers. It was in pretty bad shape. I guess the roof had flooded. From what the story is someone had thrown toys into the drain on the roof, and it just turned into this big, huge like puddle and just crashed right through the roof. All sorts rained into the whole entire building for like I guess days or months or whatever before anyone realized it.
Wow.
And did all sorts of structural damage to it, including a lot of the rafters and a lot of the joists needed to be shored up. So we actually my dad and I jacked up the whole side of the building, and by 3 inches, and put in 4 or 5 pieces of steel across the first and second, or between the ground floor and the first floor to shore up the second and third floor because of all the water damage that was there. So it was pretty crazy.
Don't let your kids throw toys on the roof.
Yeah,
Right.
really.
Exactly.
It's really a cautionary tale.
Yeah,
That's-
exactly. It's just funny how like just stupid little things can mean a lot, right?
What led you to this building then? I mean, obviously it was a fixer-upper.
Yeah, no. So it was funny because right after we shut up Armstrong Ales, or I shut up Armstrong Ales, I was actually brewing beer on my back porch about a month afterwards, and I get this call from this guy named Adam Burke, who I'd never met before, and he's like, "Hey, I'm thinking about buying this building and want to put a brew pub in here. Are you interested in looking at it?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And so I stopped what I was doing. Didn't complete that beer, but I went up and talked to him, took a walk through it. We talked about it, and he bought the building, and got together, formed a company, and, put everything together, and here we are. So that's literally how it happened. Some guy I didn't
Just
even
randomly called
just
you.
randomly called.
How did he get your number?
Well, so a mutual friend of ours, Mike, oh God, I forget his last name now. He owns Heart Food Truck, or I guess he used to. I don't think he has it anymore. Used to be a pretty good customer of mine down at Armstrong. And Adam is a chef. He owns Lily's Grill down the road here, right on High Street. And Mike used to help him out, and I think he used him as a commissary too. So I guess they were talking while Mike was helping him out one day, and said, "Yeah, I know this guy makes some really great beer, and he just got put out, and doesn't have a place to brew." And so Adam just called me up.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
When Adam had this idea, now upstairs, there's basically a full kitchen, and you have table service, and
Yes.
it's a restaurant experience.
Yep.
Was he looking to open a restaurant that also makes beer, or was it really meant to be really good food, really good beer, or did you say, "Hey, if I'm going to come in, I want to do the full brewing thing"?
No, So we were pretty adamant from the start to we want to marry good food with good beer.
Right.
We don't want because I know a lot of breweries out there get food trucks to come in and do everything, but really, when you go out, I don't want to have to work. And I wouldn't expect my customers to have to go out and work too. So you stand in line at the bar for a beer, you go sit down at a table, especially if it's really busy, then you've got to go out and stand in line at a food truck, come back to the table, and probably by the time you get back there, let's be honest, you're finished your first beer, or whoever you're with finished their first beer, so you got to get back in line and get some more beer. And, it becomes
Such hard work.
I know. I was like, was this socialist Russia? Jesus.
Waiting in line for beer, who does that?
God.
People even do it at Wawa now.
I know. I know. The double wah.
Oh, that's cool though. I know some places you go to, usually if the restaurant's already established and they decide, hey, you know, this craft beer thing's really popping, we should brew it, and they put in like a tiny little system and they make a couple
It's
beers.
more like an afterthought.
Yeah, and maybe they're good, maybe they're not. But it is always better when it's the full experience, when you have a chef and a brewer who get together and say, we're going to do both of these things and do them well.
Sure. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
And that's kind of what we wanted to do.
Especially when the chef calls the brewer cold out of nowhere.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
You make beer, right?
Hey, go into business with me.
Yeah, right.
Do you do any like beer dinners at that point?
We did when we first got together, but I mean, I started working like crazy, you know, at a couple different bars to make some money because I was out of work. You know, interestingly enough, you can't collect, you know, unemployment when you're in a business for yourself. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you kind of have to pull yourself back up and start doing
That's
it.
that American dream you're talking
Right,
about.
exactly. So yeah, so I was working like crazy. We did a couple beer dinners, turned out really well. Did some beer pairings, and I also enjoy cooking too. So you know, being able to talk the same language with him and what he is trying to do with the food and what I'm trying to do with the beer, it's nice to be able to kind of be on the same page. You know, without just being like, you know, blank look. Like,
Yeah.
what am I supposed to do?
Does that go the other way too? Because I know Adam is a bit of a Renaissance man. He's also in a band, Madam Inc.
Madam Inc. Yes, he is.
Is he? Was he like into beer? Did he do any home brewing, anything like that? coming into
After
it?
we met, he started doing a little bit of home brewing,
Yeah.
but then I think he quickly realized it's a lot easier just to go out and buy a pack of beer,
Well,
you know. So, but no, he got into it, man. He got with the SS Tech fermenters and all sorts of other stuff for a little bit, and yeah, he was doing it. But he also, you know, he does a lot of things. You know, he's very invested in the town. He's involved in the farmers market across the street. That's an indoor farmers market that has a bunch of good produce, local produce. There's a cheese purveyor. There's actually a taqueria in there now. Yeah, awesome. I'm going to say right now, like, you know, awesome. It's called I Caramba Tacos. Guy makes his own homemade tortillas, and I never thought a tortilla to taste so good. I'm not gonna lie. And they're awesome.
They're
And
not open right now, are they?
They're not. No, I know. It's stupid. We do have tacos here, though.
Oh, well then.
Yeah, exactly.
You can buy our tacos.
You can
They're
buy our
not-
tacos. They're not as good, but you can have them.
So besides tacos, what else is on the menu here?
We also have. So we've got an extensive burger thing. We do. We actually make our own black bean burgers here in house
Nice.
that you would like because they're vegan. They're made out of their vegans. We do have a chicken sriracha burger that we make in house too, which is fantastic.
I like how you're like, you would like it because it's vegan.
That's
Yeah,
the only
That's
prerequisite.
the only
that's the only
prerequisite.
prerequisite. No, actually,
It's vegan, so you better like it.
right. Actually, I eat it a lot.
You'll
Tell
like
you
it
the
because
truth.
you don't have a choice. It's that you
Right.
starve.
Right. And it doesn't taste like meat, which I never understood why vegans want things to taste like meat.
Well, we didn't stop eating meat because we didn't like the taste of it. That's not how it
That's
works.
normally why I stop eating something.
I don't understand.
Yeah. I don't get it either.
Continue.
All right. Anyhow, we also have what else we have? We have these pork wingettes. They're like some sort of, I don't know, pork rib or something. Maybe the spare rib.
Pigs don't have wings.
Apparently they do.
They do.
They have
do.
wingettes.
I mean, they have wingettes. I mean,
Vestigial wings.
that's why they can never fly. And
God.
and they're like little. They're three little
Don't say three. Don't say.
three little pigs.
we were all thinking
Yeah,
it.
we got.
We were all thinking
And
it.
we let them into the fryer.
But their wingettes don't let them out.
Right, exactly.
This
No,
little piggy cried wee 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 all the way into the
home.
scalding oil.
Yeah, right into my belly.
Oh my god.
And we toss them in wing sauce, and you eat them, and they're like life changing. I swear to God, I've never had pork that's so good, and pork's pretty good.
I'm getting so hungry.
Yeah,
Right.
it's pretty good.
We've got poutine or disco fries. You know, however way you want to say it. We also have loaded tots. And we also do specials every week, you know, with and they're really good specials. I mean, anywhere from scallops, a lot of seafood, some sort of pasta dish, homemade pasta dish, to whatever Adam feels like doing for the week, really, which is nice. So every time you come here, you're going to have the classics, but you're also going to get something a little bit different too, a little bit higher end. So it's not just like going down to your local bar, corner bar, and getting a burger and some fries.
But if that's what you want,
there's nothing wrong with that. But nothing,
you can get a burger here too.
Right, exactly.
But it's fancy.
But it's fancy.
Or made of vegans.
Right.
So you also have 11 beer taps.
Yes, we have...
including a nitro tap. And then you also have ciders on tap, right? 2
ciders on tap. We've been working with Big Hill Cider, who we think is fantastic. They're doing a fantastic job. Excuse me. And we also have 2 wines on tap from Wayvine, which is down in southern Chester County, and they're really good. We haven't had a bad wine yet, and we try to keep bottles from Vala in that we sell by the bottle.
Fancy.
It is fancy, but we also offer local spirits from all over, and we really just as many people as we can keep happy. Adam and I both think that if we can keep the customer happy, they're going to keep on coming back. There's, we try to keep the cost down so you're not paying a fortune for these things, and it's really about the customer experience. It's not really about anything else.
It's not about you and your damn dreams, Steve.
No, it's not. It's not.
Well, I have a lot more I want to ask, but I see all of our glasses are empty.
They are. How about we take a break?
Grab a couple beers and then continue this train wreck?
That sounds good.
Beer me! Beer me! Beer me! Beer me!
That was a wake-up call.
Son of a bitch.
Everybody awake now?
Yes, I am. Especially now that there's beer here.
More beer has
More
arrived.
beer. A couple of pitchers. We learned from previous mistakes to not fill them, obviously. But what are we starting with this round? Is this the pale ale that I've heard about?
This is the Pub's Pale Ale, yeah. So it's made with Mosaic and Citra hops. It is clear.
Mm-hmm.
And
delicious.
And clean and crisp.
And not filtered. So, if your brewery tells you that their beer's cloudy because they didn't filter it,
they also don't know how to make beer.
Exactly.
This is really nice. This is
it's just like an easy drinking
quintessential pale ale.
This is what I miss about hoppy beers.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's like it's got just enough hops just to make it interesting, but it's not going to overwhelm your palate, And, I like to drink all day, so I assume my customers do too,
And this is 4.7, so...
yeah. Actually, 4.8, I think.
4.8, so a couple ticks out of official sessionable, but still...
Right.
Close
still
enough.
Not
Close enough.
Yeah.
Well, that's American sessionable.
Yeah.
That's not British sessionable.
It's also not Dan sessionable.
Well,
that's
like
going to
10.
say it.
But
10? Really?
%.
Yeah. Do you not party?
Such a disappointed look. Foolish child. Foolish child.
I used to do that when I was a kid,
Yeah. So British, what is British sessionable?
I think British, it's like 4.3 or under.
Oh, okay, so not too different.
So like a bitter, an ordinary bitter
Yeah.
is a sessionable beer.
Okay.
Best bitter is not quite sessionable. And extra special.
That's just extra special.
I mean, you're just going all out.
It's with the extra. Always with the extra.
Always with the extra.
Yeah.
Those beers are so extra.
This is so extra
So
right now.
extra. This is a great follow-up to the Kolsch. Easy drinkers.
Yeah.
A little bit, it's obviously a lot more hop character, so a little bit more going on. Maybe a tick less chuggable, but still very refreshing.
Chuggable.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, did I see that you guys are going to be getting a crowler machine in the future?
Ooh.
I would love to. We are.
I hear a butt coming.
Yeah. Well, no, we're saving up for it.
Okay.
It's going to happen. So what? I don't really want to get a crowler machine, but what I want to do is I want to do like a single can machine. I don't know what they're called.
So you want to do single 16-ounce cans?
Single 16-ounce cans.
Okay.
So I mean,
a crowler, but small, like
smaller,
machine, but like for a normal size can.
Right.
Crowlette.
So interesting.
To go to the wingettes.
Interestingly enough, I learned all these wonderful things while doing it
on YouTube,
on the interwebs
At Kellogg School.
Yeah, right. At Kellogg School.
Do you know Kellogg's were originally made to stop people from masturbating?
Is that right?
It's actually true.
Well, no, Mr. Kellogg was like a nut. For
He owned like a
yeah.
sanitarium, like one
Yeah.
of those 19th century.
Yeah.
And he used to give people enemas.
Yeah,
with
yeah,
milk,
with like milk and
coffee.
wax and like
Coffee?
wax too.
Yeah,
I think, yeah, all sorts of crazy.
And he thought
stuff.
eating cornflakes would stop people
Wasn't
from
there like
masturbating.
who was the guy that played Ferris Bueller? Wasn't there like a movie that he was in
what is his
about
name?
that?
Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, Matthew
Broderick. Yeah, there was.
There was a movie made about that he was
I
like the
forget what it was
main
called.
character. Yeah, it was weird.
It was in like the 90s, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I never saw it.
I think I remember bits and pieces.
We were talking about cans.
But remember our discussion about what's sessionable? Yeah, that 10% when I was 21 years old, whatever.
The road to Wellville.
Right.
That was it. The road to Wellville.
There you go.
Can we
There you
get back
go.
to the Crowlettes?
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Dana Carvey played George Kellogg.
How you like that?
Perfect.
Did he play the drums? No.
No.
Why?
No, he played the Kellogg.
Oh, he played the Kellogg. But no. So I mean, I think that more people. The trend is going.
Don't come in, Mom. I'm playing the Kellogg.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The trend is.
Well, I mean, you can make beer out of Kellogg's now, so
That's true. No.
you can play the Kellogg.
Yes.
You're ruining
I
my
think it's
buzz.
a euphemism for something.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't get that. Sorry.
So you want to
How's that pub pale? Good. Okay. Anyway,
It's good. Yeah, I like
So I think that the trend is people want smaller portions, so that they can share, but big enough that you can share, but smaller that they can store for a day or two. So I think 4-packs are kind of like the way to go, especially with 16-ounce cans, something like that. But yeah, there's different dies. So if I want to do like a 32-ounce crowler, I have to buy a separate machine than I would need for a 16-ounce crowler. We're thinking about buying one. We're pretty close to being able to afford to buy one. So absolutely, that's going to be coming in the future.
I'm kind of torn how I feel about crowlers. Like, I like the concept of it, but you're right. Like, if it's just me, 32 ounces
It's
that I
a
have
lot
to drink
of
in
beer.
one
Yeah.
shot, like that's I need to know that I'm going to be able to do it. It's a lot of
It's
beer.
2 pints of beer.
Yeah.
It affects your decision of what beer you're going to get.
Exactly.
True,
I'm
yeah.
not going to get
Right.
an Imperial Stout.
And I also
in a
don't
crowler,
know that I'm
probably.
going to want to buy a 4-pack or a 6-pack is something that I haven't had before. But if I
That's
can do
true.
a single 16-ounce, that's cool. That's,
Right.
That's like a way to test the waters a little
Absolutely.
bit.
Absolutely.
I like that.
I
should do that.
I'm thinking about the customer.
Smart businessman.
Well, yeah, but I know when I go out, a full crowler, that's a lot. And after you pour your first pint, how much of that beer is getting oxidized?
Yeah.
It's going to
Yeah.
be completely different.
It's just sitting there.
It's just sitting there.
Do you guys do growlers here?
We have not bought them, but we will fill them.
If somebody brings
If someone brings them in, yeah. So, but that's been like our whole debate. How do we do this? What's the best way to go about doing it? Do we go the growler route? And I just don't think growlers.
Nobody buys them anymore.
I think they're a way
Yeah.
of the past.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
they
I
are.
agree.
Yeah, everybody wants.
It
their
doesn't
growlers
keep
in
beer
their can.
fresh.
No, it doesn't, and you can't travel with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Unless you get a hydro flask and they cost a shit ton of money.
and then you're trying to fill them up. The bartender's trying to fill them up.
Yeah.
You can't see through them.
Forget about it. Yeah, you waste so much beer. I would rather pre-package it for everybody and then just send them on their way.
Fair enough.
So you're talking about getting a manually operated machine that will fill a single 16-ounce can.
It's
so this isn't like a canning line.
Well, but then
where
you have
you're
to be
gonna
able to seal it like a crowler machine would too. You got to put that top on it.
It's basically a crowler machine, but for smaller cans.
right. But this
I didn't
isn't
know
something
that existed.
You're going to be like kicking
They do.
out a couple cases of 4-packs.
Yeah, I'm not-
off of,
I'm not-
this is
I'm not doing,
pretty
like-
intensive labor wise.
Yeah, but look what I got to work with here. I got a 3.5 barrel system.
Right.
I'm not doing 15 barrel can releases.
Yeah.
And trying to get through it all in a day.
Yeah.
Like my contemporaries are trying to do. I'm just trying to seal some beer and let people go on their way. Basically we're running with the same size system that Hidden River's got.
Right. Yeah.
They're not doing it.
Right.
So
They do have squealers, though.
They do. They have the little medicine bottles.
yeah, I know.
Those are cool.
Yes, they are cool.
I like squealers.
There it is.
Yeah,
Nice.
I like them too.
If you're going to do growlers, just get the damn squealers.
There you go.
It's probably the most inefficient way to fill beer.
Oh,
and
it totally
it's
is.
probably so expensive.
Honestly, the squealer that I have from Hidden River is one of my favorite things to have out on a shelf. Like it looks really cool. It's different than all the other growlers, and if I want to get it filled, it's something that I know I can drink on
Is
my
that?
own.
Have you ever? Have you ever taken that to another brewery to get filled? Because that's like a.
They would laugh at you.
No, actually,
wouldn't do it.
fucking
No, I
They
think
wouldn't do it.
I think Arse did. I think Brewery Arse did, if I remember right.
Yeah, I imagine some places that are like, well, yeah, whatever. But how big are they? Like ounce wise?
They're like
Are they like
They're 16.
16
Yeah.
ounces? Yeah, so they're like
small.
not.
But they just look hilarious.
They
do.
do. But
It looks like an old timey medicine bottle. I love it.
You know what I wanted to do for a while? I wanted to take those like turpentine cans that you get, like the square like metal ones.
Like dump the
yeah,
turpentine
yeah.
out into somebody's mouth. Yeah.
I couldn't find one that was food safe.
really.
Yeah, which I thought would be really cool because then like it's like cheap. It's like recyclable, so environmentally friendly. You can throw it in a backpack, call it a day, like you can with a 4-pack or a 6-pack
Yeah.
of beer, of cans.
That's a pretty cool idea.
And I couldn't find any. I called around, and every place every purveyor was there like, we never thought of that.
Yeah, I bet it's because in like aluminum cans they coat the inside,
And that's what
so
it
it
was.
doesn't react with.
Yeah.
If you're putting turpentine in, who cares?
Who the hell cares?
Yeah. So nobody does
nobody's,
that.
Nobody's drinking that. I mean, hopefully nobody's drinking that.
Well,
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say anything, but 10% Dan over here.
10% Dan. So we had 6% Josh. Now we have 10% Dan.
But I was also thinking of
You know what?
maybe-
The guests don't normally give us the nickname. Usually it's the other way around.
That's true.
I can't wait to hear mine. Let's save that for later
yeah.
when you're a little more drunk.
See, now he's going to be thinking about it too much.
Well,
it's not going to be
I was
spontaneous.
thinking like stocking Steph, but I don't know if that works or not because
Reminding her of
She's
her
not amused.
medical
I'm not
maladies.
amused. I'm
I
not
told you you
amused.
could wear saddle shoes. That'd be cool.
Saddle shoe
I have
Steph.
no problem with saddle shoes.
Right.
Bert was like my favorite Muppet. So
Right. I'm saying.
Represent.
Just have like some tube socks, some saddle shoes. You'll be good.
compression socks are not tube socks.
But you can hide it with. A
Are they
tube
like
sock.
Spanx?
They
fuck's a
they're not
spank?
like as they're not as there's different level of compression.
Okay.
And your doctor prescribes the amount of
The
compression
compression.
that you need.
Right.
Spanks are like because they're meant to just
Right.
push everything
Right,
in.
right.
Compression socks are just meant to prevent swelling.
And push like a certain amount depending on.
Right.
Yeah, they're not adjustable though. They don't have like straps on them. You can tighten them or loosen them.
No.
Are they
No.
latex?
Are they latex?
Just kidding.
I actually don't know what they're made out of, to be honest.
Are they food safe?
Probably not. Why are we having this conversation?
I don't know. Why not? Acquiring lines want to know, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Dare I ask, which beer should we go to next?
Let's go to this hazy monstrosity.
Yeah.
The
Steph's
fuck is
excited.
this?
So this is
Excited about
the Beard Whisperer.
Yes.
Which you refer to as a sour
New England IPA with apricots.
Okay.
Also known as, why the fuck did you make this?
Because everybody else is.
If everybody else jumped off a bridge,
Just thinking the same thing.
I've done it. So yes.
Jumped off a bridge?
Yeah. Into water.
That's still not a good idea.
Come on. You're only young once. You know, you got to do these things.
well, for some of us, you're never young.
Yes, exactly. But seriously, Steve, why?
I just, I kind of looking at what the beer trends were, and it seemed like everybody was really kind of doing this kind of stuff.
So is this your answer to like the milkshake, the fruity milkshake
yeah,
IPAs?
exactly. Why not? So I kettle sour this beer. Didn't add any, what do you call it, lactic acid to it. Kettle soured it for 2 days, and basically the same recipe as I use all my own New England IPAs. Added a bunch of lactose to it to smooth out the flavor, and everything. All the hops were put in post boil. So
It's like a sweet tart.
yeah,
It is. It's
double dry hop too.
with all due respect.
Those poor hops.
With all due respect, it's kind of weird. And,
It is weird.
and
But people are going to like it.
exactly.
they are. And I don't think I've ever had a sour hazy IPA. I've had sour IPAs, and obviously sours and hazy IPAs are probably the most popular styles right now.
Oh,
here.
absolutely.
Putting them both together, I don't know. It's weird getting the tartness of the sour, and then it melds into that soft, cushy cottoniness of a hazy IPA.
Yeah,
I've never had that together.
That goes away after you drink a little bit of it.
Really?
Yeah, it kind of washes away
Kinda
the
washes
sour
away.
that would
Right,
linger there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like the first drink is like the most sharp, and then it kind of just
Yeah.
fades off.
You don't get a lot of the like the sour or the tart in the aroma, which
No.
it's very
No.
deceiving. It's deceptive.
Right, and that, well, I think that's also so because I hopped the shit out of it. Post fermentation, I just think that it just kind of just washed that all away.
Yeah, it's got like a very pulpy, citrusy aroma to it.
Yeah, well, that's probably from the apricots.
I don't know that I've ever had an apricot on its own.
Yeah, it's a lot like a peach.
Okay.
It's smaller.
Like
If you handed me this, I wouldn't be able to tell you that it's an apricot beer because I've never had one on
It is.
its own. I think.
I feel like it's the kind of fruit you don't generally have on its own.
Yeah, it's in stuff.
It's one of those foods that's an ingredient.
You
and not
can
so
eat
much.
it on its own.
I mean, you can, but it's not like you eat an apple.
It's like, and it's done.
Yeah, it's very small. It's a lot of pith.
A lot of pith. It's very pithy.
It's very pithy.
I forgot about how dangerous this was.
Yep.
And for
I
the-
don't like this fucking beer.
No, I'm
And
sorry.
I never say that on air. I'm always
sorry.
like, people know that if I don't like a beer, I just don't talk. But Steve, I feel like
we could be honest.
you're
with Steve.
probably one of the brewers I'm more comfortable around than any other
Well,
brewer.
you know what? I didn't make
and
it.
I can
'cause-
just fucking tell you that.
I didn't make it because I like it.
and you didn't make it for me, so it doesn't fucking
Right,
matter.
So it doesn't matter. I made it for the general public that wants some sort of weird, crazy IPA that is pretty much overpowering and not very enjoyable. So, but you know me, I'm an old man brewer, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Christ, I got friends of mine who tell me I'm like an 80-year-old man when it comes to beer. My like perfect beer to me is like a crystal clear Pilsner.
Fuck yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's perfect beer.
Well, I was.
That
You
we're
know,
all
high five.
men.
Rich likes it.
Fist bump.
That's good.
Rich likes this beer
Oh my god, it's not
because it's not very hoppy.
Yeah, because it's grown up orange juice like every
That's
other New
right,
England
and
IPA.
that's what people want.
Rich likes New England IPAs.
I'm sure he does.
We on Black Friday we stopped at Workhorse on the way home because we were down in the King of Prussia area, and of course I had to get a flight, but I couldn't drink it all. So he was helping me drink them, and his favorite one was a fucking New England IPA. He's like, it doesn't taste like beer; it tastes like
No,
orange
it
juice. I'm like,
does. It's
Exactly.
alcoholic
You're right.
orange juice.
You've got a
Exactly.
bona fide craft beer drinker on your hands over here.
Yeah, I know.
All
You're
right.
more of a craft beer drinker than I am.
You might as well have a screwdriver.
That goatee is going to turn into a full beard. I can see it now. It's going to be all the way down to his knees tomorrow.
You know,
He's already got the cargo shorts.
The,
Right.
the three guys that are on the podcast have beards, right? You,
yeah, I
me,
know
and Wayne.
that.
Yeah.
Well, every time I shave mine off, my girlfriend tells me to immediately grow it back.
Well, yeah. Obviously.
Well, I also feel like Steve's the kind of guy that's got a beard because he hasn't had time for that shaving bullshit.
I really
He's
don't.
got more important things
I
to
don't.
do.
I don't. Sometimes I won't shave for a couple weeks, and
Yeah.
it's dangerous.
It's just
Oh
like
my God.
it's not a choice. It's just like I can't be
I
bothered
don't
to
have
shave.
that kind of shit. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Nobody got time for that. It does get a lot less tart as you drink more
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah, like mellows out more.
It does.
Keep
So
going.
has this been like super popular in the?
Everyone goes nuts. I just put it on yesterday. Oh no, not yesterday. When did I put it on?
Oh, this is like brand.
This is like
new.
brand
Oh,
new. Yeah, I
okay.
just put it in this on this week.
Brand new.
Yeah, it's been going. Thursday, maybe it was yesterday. I put it on. I don't know. The days kind of like melted together.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth.
Rich just chugged the rest of Steph's.
Wow.
Holy shit. That was at least half full. That glass was at least half full.
He
Rich,
doesn't
who
mess
are you?
around.
This isn't the Rich I used to know and love.
He has been
Daniel,
corrupted.
some more.
No, thanks.
He's been corrupted.
And I'm not saying no because I don't like it. I do like it, but I have to be responsible because I have to
that's
drive.
right. Yeah, medicine. Yeah.
Well, no, fuck that part.
Drive medicine.
I don't hate it. I wouldn't spit it out, but I wouldn't order it.
No,
I
Like,
wouldn't
it's
spit it
good.
out,
Like
but
I'm
I
glad.
wouldn't
I'm
order it.
glad that you're doing something like this because it's not normal
no, it's not.
and it's good. You've done well with it, but I don't know, man. What's the next one? Like that's in my wheelhouse because it's dark.
That is an oatmeal stout.
See, this is where I get very happy.
Here you go, Dan. Get happy.
It's good.
Come on, get.
I'm
I was
actually-
waiting for somebody to do it.
I'm really happy with that beer. Actually, to tell you the truth.
So who's Slick Rick?
He's a rapper. Don't you know Slick Rick the rapper?
No, I do not.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
I guarantee.
Sing one of his songs.
I don't rap.
Hey Siri, please.
Yeah, right. But no, that's why I named it that. It's got a very slick mouthfeel. I use a lot of oats on that.
Oh boy, that's good.
Oh, it smells nice.
Yeah, I had that on nitro. It was actually my first nitrogenated beer that I ever made. It was even slicker than that.
I would love to try that on Nitro.
So is that one called Slicker Rick?
Yeah, it's like the slickest, the
You said-
rickiest Rick, like on
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty. Yeah.
That's the Pickle Rick show, right?
That is the Pickle Rick show.
Yes.
This is friggin' delicious.
This is really nice. You should have Slick Rick, Slicker Rick, and Slickest Rick, which should be like barrel aged and on nitro.
I would. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
you should do
why
that.
not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should do it.
I should do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Do that and launch it the same time as the pizza beer so I can get both in the same.
Right. Exactly.
Right. Also, I'm going to need a hotel. So get a partnership with a hotel.
There's a hotel on the road.
Okay.
It's awesome.
Where's Steph? Can I crash at your place? If we do that?
It's too far away.
Do I ever say no?
True. True. Thank you. Again.
Mostly not.
So did I redeem myself from the sour IPA?
Oh, absolutely. It's like I really don't care.
Right, exactly. Right.
This is really nice. I really like this.
It's dark.
It's dark. It's got that nice roasty.
You look like your dad in
Comfortable
that picture.
Look like
That's a
what?
good picture.
You look like your dad in that picture.
Well, I am Steve Jr., so.
That is true.
Yep.
Yeah, this is what I want to drink all the time. So you got the space upstairs now, and is the drum set still up by the windows?
It is, yeah.
I didn't notice when we
You have
walked
a
in.
drum set up there?
Oh, yeah.
So do you have live music here?
We do every Wednesday night. We have live music here.
Does Adam's band play here?
Adam himself actually plays here.
Okay.
His band, his guitar player has been playing here acoustically. So we don't try to do bands. We try to do acoustic acts.
It'd be a little
Right.
loud up there with the
Yeah.
band.
It's a loud space because it's very narrow, tall, and long. So the sound amplifies itself, and we've been trying to damp it down a little bit because of the way it is. So I've been making homemade sound dampers and putting them on.
Of course you are. I forget
Well, I
what-
mean, have you ever priced out sand down?
They are a lot.
They are a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they're basically egg cartons.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not going to pay somebody $500 for egg cartons.
Nope.
There's
When I
no-
was looking to make it in a home studio when I was in college, I was pricing it out.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Or just like every time I run out of eggs from the grocery store, I'm just going to save the carton and I'll
Right.
staple them
Well,
together
couldn't you
later.
just buy foam and cut those like baffles in it?
Well, that's what I've been doing. So
Yeah.
what I've been doing is I've been so they make sound dampening board, right? And it's basically just compressed like cardboard, like paper mache almost, and it's like super compressed. I've been making a frame for it, wrapping it in either the grain bags that I have left over, or I've gotten some black fabric to wrap around the ones I've been putting on the ceilings, and filling that with what do you call it? Rock wool, which is
I don't know what that is.
It's an insulation,
Oh, okay.
but it's meant for sound dampening. It's also used for fire protection as well.
Oh, soundproof and fireproof.
That's right. I mean, that's a double.
Yeah.
It's
But not like hot fireproof when like there's a band on that's like that's hot fire.
right. Exactly.
Oh my god! So besides live music, what other events do you guys do here on the regular?
Podcasts.
We do. No, we don't. Actually, this is the first one.
Only in the basement, away from everyone.
And
Wait
you
for
better not
everybody
cheat
else.
on us.
That's
We're
true.
your only podcast. Don't forget.
That's right. You are. You're
You're
the
like,
only one.
what time are we gonna wrap up here? I got
Right.
something else going on later tonight.
I don't know. I kind of felt she was going to pull out a whip on me.
You gotta watch that.
You never know what I got in my compression.
Exactly.
Wow. Wow.
I humbly oblige. Right. No, we don't really do too much. We do a couple things here and there, like we're trying to get like local things here. What do we have going on? We had a 5K run that ended here. We've been doing a couple fundraisers for the town, but that's pretty much it's not every day. It's not like a set thing, but we try to do as much as possible for fundraisers and for different events. I mean, the space is kind of limited as to what we can do with it. But we had a holiday party here for Halloween. We've been getting booked for other holiday parties, so for other private holiday parties. So it's been kind of hard to kind of schedule things around that.
Speaking of the space, is there another floor above the bar area?
Yeah, so there's 2 floors above there, but they've been gutted. There's nothing up there.
Those where all the toys were.
Yeah. So there's nothing up there. It's kind of like
Please brew a beer called Toys on the Roof.
Toys on the Roof.
Toys on the Roof.
Yeah. What kind of beer would it be?
A Rausch beer, totally.
A Rausch beer.
Wow.
Wow.
Toys
that was
really?
very quick.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was a quick response.
Anything that has to do with a roof has to be a Rausch beer.
Or is that right? Why?
Oh, because the roof is on fire.
Whatever.
Thanks for spelling that out for me. I didn't understand it.
We don't need no water.
Let the motherfucker burn.
Well, the water is what destroyed it, so.
That's true.
Well, the water also put out
Not
the
only
fire.
do we not need it, we don't want it.
So.
Wow.
Did you ask a question? Did he answer it?
Yeah, I was curious if there was more floors to the building,
Yep.
which I thought he had said earlier that there were. And I
There
just wanted
were,
to clarify,
yeah.
but they're not really
I mean,
usable.
Well, we
for-
can't use them, so
Yeah.
especially for a restaurant. I mean, unless they want to make them ADA compliant, then I would have to put
Oh yeah, you put ramps in or an elevator.
Elevator, because
Yeah.
there's no room for ramps. I mean,
Wow.
could you
Can you just put a fireman's pole?
What would it cost to install?
Probably not ADA compliant.
Yeah,
either.
right. I mean, unless you want
That
to get
kinda,
them
yeah.
down.
A sliding board?
Right. Yeah, it has to be very long.
New Belgium does it. Oh, the twisty ones.
A rope, a pulley, and a fireman's pole. Then you've got up and down.
Could be a fun house.
There it
Brewery,
is.
restaurant, and fun house.
Pee-wees. Oh, Pee-wees.
You can have a word of the day.
Pubs.
No. Damn.
Pee-wee's United Brewing.
That's right.
Oh my god. I wish I had a picture of that face. That would be the episode picture.
Yeah.
I think we should play a game.
Yeah.
Is that what we're gonna do now?
I was going to ask
I
something
think
else,
we
but
need
we're
to,
going to.
we need to keep this train rolling.
Yeah, I'll ask my question later. Where's the thing?
All right.
Where the hell's the? There it is. Sorry, wrong theater.
It always comes in so hot.
Comes in like fire.
It comes in
Spits
like
fire.
like hot fire. It spits hot fire. Cheers,
Don't burn down my roof.
the internet. And welcome to everybody's favorite part of the podcast, Happy Fun Time Games, a podcast trivia segment that would phone it in, but that's too much work. Today, we are playing one of my favorite games to play, but not to put together because it's more difficult than Libation or Fabrication. We are playing There's Weird in My Beer.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
You scared me.
Yes, we were playing There's Weird in My Beer. We talk about beers that have cow shit or bull testicles or
Garlic and onions.
garlic and onions, yeast that has been to space.
Or in a vagina.
Fried chicken, yes, yeast from women's vagina, from people's beards, things like that. This is, of course, a game where I will tell you a little bit about a beer and give you a multiple choice option of the weird ingredient that is in that beer, and you must guess what it is. We will begin, as we always do, to my left. Sitting there today just happens to be Dan.
Oh, hey, funny how that works out.
Our first beer of the game comes from Belgian brewery Aurum Drinks, who concocted what they call the first luxury beer in the world. It's a Belgian strong ale with honey and some serious bling.
Rolex.
Is it Gold Flakes, Diamond Dust, or Black Pearls?
I think. Wait. It's Gold Flakes.
Diamond Dust or Black Pearls?
Diamond dust?
You know
That's
what?
a thing?
I'm going to say Diamond Dust because Gold Flakes already been done in liquor. So yeah, I'm going that.
All right, Dan is going with that.
I'm saying the
ice.
same thing because Dan always wins.
All right, Steph is also saying Diamond Dust. Finally, Steve.
I'll go with Gold Dust because everyone else did Diamond Flakes.
All right, you were transposed to the words
It's
there.
either
It's-
gold flakes or diamond dust.
or Black Pearls.
Or
you're,
Black Pearls.
you're going with Gold Flakes?
Yeah.
You're going with Gold Flakes?
Why
You
not?
said gold dust.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's going with Gold Flakes
He
because
doesn't even know what he said.
it's close to Corn Flakes.
Oh.
I was thinking Gold Dust. Woman.
Gold Dust Woman.
Yeah.
Either way, you are correct. It is Gold Flakes.
Duh.
Golden Queen Bee is what it's
My
called.
strategies never work.
It contains edible 24-karat golden flakes. The beer is specially meant for the luxury market, otherwise known as people with more money than they know what to do with. It is packaged
I think you're going to say people with more money than me.
Yeah, well, that's true, too. It is packaged like champagne and meant to be drank, quote, in moments of celebration. As a side note, if you pair this beer with the Lost Abbey's Gift of the Magi, which contains frankincense and myrrh, you have unlocked the Christmas trifecta achievement.
And you automatically go to heaven.
That's right. No matter what you do for the rest
No
of your life,
matter
that's
what.
it. Moving on, Steph is going to guess first on our next beer of the game. This is another one where the name will give it away, so I will keep it a secret. This is a collaboration spiced beer brewed by Portland's Burnside Brewing and Upright Brewing. Their goal was to create a complex beverage with savory flavors rooted in the kitchen, which they accomplished by incorporating Turkish bay leaf, long pepper, and another vital ingredient. Is it sheep lungs,
Ew.
chicken livers,
Ew.
or beef hearts?
Oh. None of the above.
That's not an option.
Beef hearts. I don't fucking know. That's
Steph
disgusting.
is saying beef hearts. We've got lungs, we've got livers, we've got hearts. Which one is it?
You said Turkish basil and what else?
Long pepper.
Don't even tell me you're really trying to figure this out.
No, probably.
What would
probably
taste better?
Probably chicken livers.
Chicken livers? All
Yeah.
right. Going with chicken livers. And finally, Dan.
I was thinking chicken livers as well, so I will also say that.
All right, Dan also saying chicken livers. Dan and Steve and Steph are wrong. Oh, no, wait. You said beef hearts.
Yeah.
You are correct.
Holy shit!
I thought you said
Wow.
lungs. It is beef hearts. Captain Beefheart is the name of the beer. Made by Jason McAdam of Burnside Brewing and Alex Gainham of Upright, both of whom can be described as meat enthusiasts. It contains 60 pounds of charred beef hearts added to the boil. The beer drinks with pleasant aromatics from the spices and has a light minerality accentuated by the pound of salt that is also thrown into the
Minerality.
kettle.
Can I just say something?
Sure.
That sounds awful.
But
You're so proud of yourself.
for those of you keeping score at home, Boston Beer Company's Jim Cook did the same thing with his Burke in the Bottle, a collaboration with another Burke chef, David Burke, which was featured in Weird in My Beer in episode 78.
Why do you expect me to remember that far back?
I don't remember last episode.
The only reason I know that is because when I look up these beers, I Google through our drive to make sure I haven't used them before.
Yeah.
And I found the other one.
It's nice being able to search through our drive.
Yeah, it is pretty nice. Moving on to our next beer of the game, and Steve is going to guess first on this one. This is called Sunday Toast. It's a Victorian-style porter from a Welsh beer maker, Conwy Brewery. The brew panders to the national stereotypes of Wales with the inclusion of a traditional ingredient. Is it leeks, lamb, or cockles?
Cockles.
Saying cockles because it's fun to say, Dan.
Lamb.
Dan is saying lamb. Steph,
What was the one they didn't say?
leeks.
I'll go with that.
Going with leeks. Lamb is correct. The beer was brewed to celebrate St. David's Day, the feast day of the patron saint of Wales. Sunday Toast is based on their Telford Porter, which is made with roasted malts. The brewery slow roasted the Welsh lamb to enhance its natural flavor and tenderness before adding the dissolved meat juices during fermentation.
Gotta get those meat juices.
Juices.
Too
There you go.
bad.
Another beer name, Meat Juice.
Juices.
There
Oh,
you
that's
go.
fantastic.
Yeah. You're welcome.
I have a joke here.
Oh, no.
Is that juiced by the meat?
Too bad it wasn't a lambic.
Wow.
That was a twofer.
Moving on.
Please
That
do.
double negative did not make a positive.
Moving on.
And Dan is going to guess first on this one. Headed by former New Belgium brewer Peter Bockert, Purpose Brewing and Cellars has crafted quite the lineup of unique and imaginative beers. One of these is a Belgian Saison made with red beets and hibiscus flowers and
Ooh.
dry hopped with a certain delicate ingredient. Is it grasshoppers, red roses, or bird's nest?
Seriously?
So wait, hibiscus
And
Beets.
red beets.
and red beets.
And dry hopped on grasshoppers, red roses, or bird's nest.
Red roses.
We're painting the
I
roses
mean,
red.
It better be red roses.
Yeah, I mean,
Don't
you
fuck
can't-
up that
you
good
can't
beer.
break it. Yeah.
All right, Steph
Hibiscus
saying-
and beets sound fucking amazing.
Everything's red. It's got to be roses.
Yeah, it's got to be red.
Everybody's saying roses. Everything is coming up roses
Thank
because
God.
it is in
If you
fact
would have said grasshoppers, I would have like punched you.
Rage quit the podcast.
Did you know the grasshoppers are actually kosher? True story.
Actually, I feel like I did know that.
Did you
Yeah.
learn that on YouTube or at Kellogg's school?
Neither.
Not in the newspaper.
From a Christopher Moore book.
There you go. The Belgian-born Bokert, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, who helped New Belgium introduce sour beers to America, has dared to be different at his Fort Collins brewery. He brews on a significantly smaller scale with former 1933 Brewing head brewer Zach Wilson, where they make all kinds of beers with weird ingredients that actually sound good. One of these is called A Dozen Roses. The ruby pink saison dry hopped with whole red roses and rose buds. Moving on to our final beer of the game.
And if I'm looking
Wait a
at your
minute.
scorekeeping,
Everybody's tied.
we're tied.
We're tied. This is the
tied.
tiebreaker.
You only did
I
5?
only did 5. I couldn't find a good
You're a
sixth
lazy motherfucker.
one. I couldn't find a good sixth one.
It's been a long week, Steph.
Well, you're not as lazy as I am.
There you go. Yeah, I didn't recycle any of this. This is the last beer of the game, and everyone is tied. So,
Come on.
All right,
We need
this
to play accordingly.
This is for all the beans in the basket.
Or for all the partying. Wink, wink.
Do you
Yeah.
normally put beans in a basket?
Why not?
Okay.
Steph, tell me about this. The Green Man Pub in Wellington, New Zealand, also known as Middle Earth.
There's a green man in Asheville.
Oh, this one's in Wellington. It's probably different.
It's
They teamed up with local brewers Choice Brothers to make a headline-grabbing stout laced with an alliterative and life-giving ingredient. Is it tiger testicles, meerkat milk, or stag semen?
oh my god. It's probably the fucking semen, isn't it?
Can you make that a sound clip, please? No! It's probably the fucking semen,
No,
isn't it?
I don't want that as a clip.
Thank you, Dan.
That's actually gold. You should do that.
No.
I thought it was pretty good. You're saying semen? So you're saying semen. I'm surrounded by semen. Steve.
Are meerkats indigenous to New Zealand?
You can't ask follow-up
Can't ask
questions.
follow-up questions.
Yeah. I'm saying meerkat milk.
They
then.
are in insurance commercials in the UK. You're saying meerkat milk. Dan, testicles, milk, or semen?
You did say life-giving. It's probably the semen. The semen makes sense.
All of them give life. The semen
milk
comes
gives
from the
life.
testicles, and the milk suckles the
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 milk.
young.
The milk supports the life, and the testicles are just where the semen is.
Yeah, but without the
We're
milk, it
gonna
would die.
fight you. It's not the semen.
We're gonna fight you if it's not the semen. That's the name of this episode.
God, no!
Demonetized.
We weren't monetized.
Are you saying semen?
I'm saying semen.
You're saying semen. Those of you who said semen are correct. Yes, it is.
This is
the
rigged.
semen.
You guys know what's going on.
You do
Come on.
realize you and I just high-fived over
Listen,
semen, right?
listen. Just remember the golden rule of weird ingredients. It's great if it alliterates.
It's true. Well, all of these did.
Tiger testicles, meerkat,
Meerkat milk,
and
yeah.
stag semen. The Wellington, New Zealand pub wanted to offer up something fun, different, and protein-packed for a local craft beer fest.
How is that even legal?
Beervana. The beer is called Stag Semen Stout, because why not?
Because
And
it's an alliteration.
Hold on. It features the unique product from a Geraldine sire stag named Lagoon. So a specific stag. Green Man co-owner Steve Drummond said, "It's export quality semen. We only deal with the best."
Export quality.
Yes, special care was taken to preserve the stout's unique creamy qualities, including using a hand pump rather than forced carbonation. Drummond elaborated, saying, "There's only one way to serve semen stout, and that's hand pulling it."
Now look, guys, this ain't your normal domestic semen that you get over your daily market. This is your import semen, you know?
Hand pulled.
And pulled. Hand pulled.
Hand
It's hand
pulled.
pulled, guys.
Export
Hand pulled
quality.
Export semen. If anyone still cares, we have a tie for
I
first
stopped
place.
listening like 2 minutes ago.
We have
Just
a
like a
Sicilian semen soiree.
Oh,
That's what
God.
We're now calling it. Tied for first place with 3 points apiece are Dan and
Oh.
Steph. High fives
I
are
thought you were trying
happening.
to hit me.
Coming in just behind with 2 points is Steve. This is, of course,
Without the semen, obviously.
of course. This is, of course, the part of the podcast where we shout out to our most generous patrons on Patreon, the people who are crazy enough to actually give us money for this bullshit. We would like to thank very sincerely the following individuals, beginning, of course, with James Lamberg.
Shut up, Wesley.
Joe Mansell.
Peanut butter belly with a J's ball back.
Steph's on a roll here.
Eric Dixon.
I want to chew on an almond right now.
Nate Falkman.
You are welcome.
Brian Mills.
Exclusive on Beer Busters.
Wolfgang von Colt.
This sausage is DTF.
Yeah, it is. Jen McDonald.
Hey, Wayne.
Marilyn Engelman.
Oh, black lager, keep on rolling.
Mississippi moon, won't you keep on shining on me? Josh Price.
I would do it.
Yeah, you would. Ron McDonald.
Oh, the pretzel.
And Victoria Miles.
How big is it?
If you want to find out how you can get on this list and other behind the scenes perks for
That's
as little
so fun.
I'm glad you didn't hit that one.
as $1 a month,
It's so tight.
you can go to patreon.com/beerbusters to learn more.
I kind of want to gnaw on it.
Dan, are there any companies that would put their names on this?
Cake. Oh.
Apparently they would.
Let's hear from them now.
Say, Yvonne, remember when I said I'd have to send away to NASA to calculate your bar tab?
Oh, yeah. We all had a good laugh, Mo.
The results came back today. You owe me $70 billion.
Today's episode is brought to you in part by Vinyl Me Please. Vinyl Me Please is a Record of the Month club. In fact, it is the best damn record club. Every month, Vinyl Me Please features one album that is essential to the modern vinyl collection and sends it to thousands of members worldwide. Each record is pressed exclusively for Vinyl Me Please, with features you can't get anywhere else, things like bonus tracks, inserts, colored variants, and they all come packed with a 12x12 album-inspired art print and custom cocktail pairing recipe. Yeah. If you want to try Vinyl Me Please, you can go to joinvmp.com/beerbusters to sign up today. Again, that's go to joinvmp.com/beerbusters to join Vinyl Me Please today.
No. Your beers. No, your beers.
Steph, we're going to be environmental on this one, right?
Yeah, totally.
Cool. What do we got?
Yeah, we are going to talk about the Kolsch.
What percentage of this is made out of recycled materials?
I don't know what you're talking about. So, as you know, Steve likes to keep a nice, clean, crisp Kolsch on tap here at the Pottstown United Brewing, and it happens to be one of my favorite beer styles. So I wanted to educate the Beer Busters world so they knew a little bit more about the Kolsch. So the Kolsch is a clean, crisp, delicately balanced beer, usually with very subtle fruit flavors and aromas. It can be easily mistaken for a light lager, a somewhat subtle pilsner, or perhaps a blonde ale. The name Kolsch is protected by the Kolsch Convention and is restricted to the 20 or so breweries in and around Cologne, Germany. The convention simply defines the beer as a light, highly attenuated, hop-accentuated, clear-top fermenting Voll beer. Each Cologne brewery produces a beer of different character, and each interprets the convention slightly differently. A typical Kolsch has an aroma that is pleasant, subtly fruity, which is from the fermentation. Can be anything from apple to even cherry or pear.
But not apricot.
And a low, noble hop aroma is sometimes present. Some yeast may give a slight, winey, or sulfury character. The appearance is very pale gold to light gold. Authentic versions are filtered to a brilliant clarity, and there is that nice delicate white head that may or may not persist. The flavor is a delicate flavor with a balance between that soft yet attenuated malt, the subtle fruit sweetness from fermentation, and a medium-low to medium bitterness with a delicate dryness and slight pucker in the finish. Smooth and crisp, they are medium-light bodied with medium-high carbonation. A Kolsch should be served in a nice, tall, narrow 200 milliliter glass, and due to its delicate flavor profile, Kolsch tends to have a relatively short shelf life. Older examples can start to show some oxidation. Typical ingredients used to brew a traditional Kolsch include German noble hops like Hallertau, Tettnang, Spalt, German Pils or pale malt, and an attenuative clean ale yeast. Water can vary from extremely soft to moderately hard, and traditionally a step mash program is used, and the beer is fermented at cool ale temperatures and lagered for at least a month. Now you know.
Now we know.
Beer me! Beer me! Beer me! Beer me!
Round 2, fight.
So not only I have two more pictures appeared in front of us. One is magically already in my glass. Wow.
And one is already empty?
Yeah, one of the pictures is empty.
Let's hope it's magically delicious as well.
Magically delicious.
You'll find it on the other side of the rainbow.
Yeah.
Yes. On the other side of the rainbow, and from the other side of the pond, because this is an English-style porter.
It is. Cheers.
Prost.
Oh.
We don't have enough effort to do that anymore.
No, it's too much work. That is nice.
God.
I love English beers.
They're so fucking good.
I fucking love every English style of beer I've ever had from any brewery that makes them. I've just loved.
They don't get the
Yep.
respect they deserve.
They really
don't.
They don't.
They're so good.
They're so good.
Well, you were talking about bitters earlier. I was like, man, I want like a good
When you say
bitter.
extra special, yeah.
Actually,
ESP, man.
you can't. So, I had these two bitters on, right? I found that you can't call bitters anymore.
No, you can't. No.
You have to call them pale ales, English style pale ales, because they don't sell if they're called bitters.
Right.
You know, I had people come in, and I mean, this is how crazy the market is. They'll come in, they'll tell you that they do not like bitter beer, and then order an IPA.
Yeah.
Well, IPAs aren't bitter anymore.
This is true.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. I mean, you know, to that point, that's true. But I mean, bitters aren't bitter either.
They're not.
They're only more bitter than a mild. That's where they got their name from.
Yeah.
No one knows what a mild is.
This is true.
And they're delicious. I know.
Just call it. I think if you call it like English style ale,
Right.
like that's intriguing enough. If you don't
Right.
know, like, oh, okay, yeah, it's weird. I mean, if I didn't know about beer and I saw extra special bitter on a menu,
You would think it'd be very, very bitter.
I would make certain assumptions.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No,
I would
and I
think
totally
it's
get
extra
that.
and it's
yeah.
special.
I mean, it's special.
Yeah, and I wouldn't. Not that I wouldn't order it because I'll try anything, but I can see why people who aren't. Who don't know what the style is could be turned off by that.
You know what it is? I think the English need to get their shit together when it comes to beer.
I just want to sit. And
So this is
sip
the
this
Pikey
beer.
Porter. I don't think we actually
Oh,
said the
did we
name
not?
of it.
This
We
did
did
we
say
not?
This is the Pikey Porter, yes.
Yeah.
Surprisingly higher in alcohol,
It's what is it?
It's an English robust porter, brown porter. It's not a.
but it doesn't taste like it would be 7.3.
No.
Is that what it is? 7.3. Yeah.
This would be a good time to talk about some of the beers you have on deck. What are some things coming out?
Well, in the bright tank, actually, we might get to tonight if we finish these up. If you want to,
Chug.
Last call.
right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we can do that for last call.
If there's one that I was looking at, and I'm hoping it's the one you're going to say for last call.
It is the. It's actually the Belgian Double that I made with coffee.
With coffee, yes.
Oh, that sounds
And
nice.
all the grains were grown in Royersford on 2 particular acres farm. So within 10 miles of the brewery.
Wait, is that the name of the farm?
That's the name of the farm.
2 particular acres.
2 particular acres.
Really?
It's actually much larger than 2 particular acres,
But those are the special ones.
that's like I don't know.
So
I guess.
wait. Were the grains grown at 2 particular acres, or were they grown on 2 particular acres at 2 particular acres?
I don't know.
This is getting very meta.
It's like the 3.5 acre of 2 particular
Yeah,
acres.
right. No, I don't know. No, actually, I think they actually put. I think they did.
Grew/put.
I think they put 5 acres of barley in the ground this year, and it's all Scala malt.
They should open a location called One Specific Square Foot. Sorry, just had to get that in there. Continue.
Way to be a pillar of your community.
Two particular acres, right down the street,
Right,
more or less.
right. Made with Scala malt. You're gonna love it. Word. No.
Oh my god.
And also coffee too. So
Where's the coffee from? One particular roaster?
actually, it's from Wawa.
No, it's not.
It is, and I'll tell you why.
Oh, way to jump on that train.
No. Actually, so Ned Foley, who owns 2 particular acres, also does all the composting for Wawa and their coffee rinds, and puts them into the soil to grow the grain
That's
to
really badass.
make this beer.
Yeah,
I didn't even know. I
compost
didn't know
Wawa.
Wawa.
We had
composted
actually
their
been pitching
coffee.
a coffee beer to Wawa for 2 years.
Really?
Ned and I have been.
Really? No
Yes.
shit. For 2 years.
For 2 years.
And then
And
something
Bob
else.
comes in and
Something
just
else was 2.
takes it from you.
Yes.
Up to you.
We last year I made a grisette with all of Ned's grains, and I put Brett inside the bottles. Steph, you would have loved it. I know you like sour beers like that. It was fantastic, and the Wawa loved it. He made it for all of their executives and everything like that. And we were going to pitch this beer for that too, and then all of a sudden, other Wawa beers come out, and just about the same week.
Other Wawa beers.
The same week.
So you gave them the idea, then they went and did it with someone else.
That's what my buddy Ned is saying. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
It's kind of
This like breaking drama news here.
That is kind of dramatic, although not entirely surprising.
It's not because
I totally believe that.
That's
why couldn't you still do a Wawa beer and then the Royersford Wawa could have lines out the door?
Well, probably because since I'm saying Wawa so much and you're saying Wawa so much that we're probably going to get sued for use of their trademark or some bullshit like that.
At what point does it become a flock of Wawas?
Can we just do it with sheets?
That is like deer.
No.
It's actually just Wawa.
Wawa?
It's just Wawa.
Wawa?
Wawa. It's inflection.
Wawa.
I mean, it's they are an Asian peoples.
Wait,
they came over.
Wait, deer are Asian? I don't.
No,
I think I lost the thread.
The Native Americans are Asian peoples.
Oh yeah, or the Bering Strait.
Yeah. So it's all in the inflection.
Wawa.
Wawa. I'm kidding. I don't know.
I have no idea.
I think the two of them could have their own podcast.
I think they should.
Wayne and Steve talk about shit.
Talk about nonsense. Some of it's true. Some of it's interesting. Most of it's bullshit.
Most of it's bullshit.
Oh my god. Well, this beer is really good.
I'm glad you like
so
it.
you talked about one beer that's on deck, but 70 minutes later, can you talk about some of the other beers that are coming?
I don't think it's been quite 70 minutes. God.
You have a beer to guard?
I got a beer to guard that I made with a local home brewer.
Dell.
Mm-hmm.
We love.
Fantastic.
He's awesome.
He is a fantastic man. And
he gives really good hugs too.
He does.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean,
I've never had a Del hug.
You've been missing out on life, dude.
You have.
You have.
I've had a Del taco though.
Taco Del?
I've also had a Del taco.
Mostly for Rich.
Del tacos are good.
Like, did he make them for you?
No, Del Taco is a taco chain.
I didn't know that.
But they're in like the West.
I don't go to the West.
Yeah, I know. You're working too hard here, but like raisin roofs and shit. Like literally raisin
roofs and shit. Literally raisin roofs. You have an Imperial Stout coming up as well?
I do.
Yeah.
I do have an Imperial Stout. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Is this getting off the wall?
It's been the whole time.
Exactly what we were hoping for.
I got an Imperial Stout coming out. That's also another English style Imperial Stout, so it's not going to be an American style. It's going to be a little bit more malty. Threw a lot of oats in that one too, so it's a little bit slicker, a lot more mouthfeel than I think most people like. I shouldn't say most people like. No, you're gonna love it. That's bad.
I guarantee.
I guarantee. But yeah, so I've got that coming up, and I also have a Belgian Dark Strong with tart cherries coming up too.
Ooh,
that. It will be fantastic.
A lot of Belgians, a lot of dark stuff going on.
Yeah, well,
I like it.
It's the dark time of year, man.
Sort
of all this stuff to kind of brighten up your day.
That's cool. Do you? Speaking of which, do you like to brew like to the season? Like, do you like to have a lot of like beers on that are that?
Yeah, so like that's kind of like how I brew. I mean, I get pestered about not having wheat beers on, but it's the middle of winter.
Yeah, it's December.
Nobody wants wheat beers now. Mm-hmm. There's only like one person that's like, why don't you have any wheat beers on? And we're like, because it's December and it's cold outside. And
you can say, get a cider.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why we have ciders on tap. Gives me the freedom to do that. But no, it's it's I like to brew to the season, and I like to brew traditional ales pretty much with like a twist. It's not quite all the same. And I'm just getting to the point now where this brewing system of being open for 6 months that I'm able to start experimenting a little bit, which is nice. Like, first 6 months, you got to get your brewing system down. know exactly how it's going to act, and build recipes off of that, so that I can get consistency from batch to batch.
What is the final beer?
This is a saison that actually I made with Ned's grains too.
Oh, okay.
So all these are local grains.
This is Du Outois.
And interesting story about that name.
Which means 2 or 3?
2 or 3,
okay.
Yes. Because I kept on telling everybody it was going to take 2 or 3 weeks, 2 or 3 months, 2 or 3 weeks.
Nice. Perfect.
Yeah, so, a little play on words, so.
I love the aroma. Yeah, it smells so great.
Yeah, it's a traditional Belgian saison. It's not your hoppy.
Holy God almighty.
Hoppy saison that you're going to get from wherever, This is the real deal. This is probably the closest thing you're going to get Belgium in the United States.
Are you sure you didn't pop this out of a bottle upstairs?
I did not.
That's fucking amazing.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, I knew you would
That's
like this.
fucking amazing.
Oh. It's so bright and I can't even.
Super dry.
Mm-hmm.
It's got that nice,
bright, dry, like a
little bit of pepper.
Dash, what's that, Salt Bay? A Salt Bay.
It's your Pepper Bay.
A Salt Bay of funk. Just a Salt Bay of funk. Very nice.
Funk Bay.
Yep.
Funk Bay.
Funk Bay.
I like Funk Bay.
Yeah.
I think this is my favorite beer we've had tonight.
Well, thank
Show
you.
me how excited you are
It's
about that.
really nice.
So I know earlier when we were talking about Armstrong Ales and how you couldn't sell anything there,
Right.
you were distributing. Do you distribute as Pottstown United, or is everything just here for now?
Everything's here for right now.
Okay.
Only because I'm here by myself.
Right.
I mean, I do it all. This is a full-time job for me, and it's a lot of work. I mean, a lot of people. I don't think people realize how much drudgery brewing is. It's a lot. It's like 95% cleaning, and the rest is all just brewing. And it's not fun work, but
It's not glamorous.
it's not glamorous. That's why I have, as Steph said, a really nice sweater on for everybody.
It's
Or
a
not
sweatshirt.
Sweatshirt.
Let's come on. Let's not mince words. It's a sweatshirt.
I was trying to make myself fancy.
I'm wearing a sweatshirt too. There's no shame in wearing a sweatshirt.
No, there's nothing wrong with the sweatshirt.
Yeah, mine's covered with crap.
Got the bleach stains on the pants.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Trying to make it feel better.
You don't have to. I know what it is.
So I know we're looking far, far ahead of that point. So you don't bottle, you don't can currently. That's in the plans for the future, more or
Right.
less.
Right.
Do you see Pottstown United getting to a position where you could distribute?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's in the plans for sure. I would love to have a production facility where that we could get out to, local tap handles to everybody. That's the name of the game. Is trying to get volume. That's what the beer business is all about. Because then you get economies of scale, you get everything else in between. It's also, that's what you get in the business for, is I got in this business because I want to share my beer with everybody.
Right.
I'm not going to make the claim that it's the best beer in the world, but I don't think there's such a thing as the best beer in the world, There's beer, there's well-made beer, and there's consistently well-made beer from a brewery, And I think that we're fortunate in southeast Pennsylvania to have a lot of breweries that are consistently good beer makers, across the board. And I would just feel really good about just being a part of that. That's all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I've known from early on, from when we met you 5.5 years ago when we had you on the show in the first place, that your beer was some of the best that you're going to find in southeastern Pennsylvania.
Well, thank you. I appreciate
and
that.
And tonight is obviously no exception to that. It deserves to be shared.
Well, thank you.
So I know there's a long way to go with that, but this is beer that, for anyone out there listening who has not had any of your beer yet, You got to come here, man. You got to do that. You
This
got to
fucking saison, seriously.
like
It's
this.
so good.
It tastes like it came out of fucking cork and
Yeah.
cage bottle from Belgium.
All the beer we've had tonight was great, but
Fuck.
this saison is just like you nailed it, man. You
thank
fucking
you.
nailed it.
I actually want to stop talking and just drink
Yeah.
this beer.
Shut the
right
fuck up, Dan. We just want to drink.
This is really nice.
I can
All
do
the
that.
beers we had tonight were really good. Well, that apricot thing was a little iffy.
Yeah,
That apricot
Steph
beer was
didn't like
terrible.
it. God.
It was fucking terrible.
It was a little iffy.
This is
Whatever,
fucking
man. I
amazing.
mean, like,
This is banging.
you got to follow the trends.
Oh, you
Banging.
do, you know.
You just said banging.
It's fucking banging.
Oh, wow.
It's hot fucking fire.
God, no.
True fire.
Stop the ride. I want to get
Hold on.
Should I just get a hose from over here?
That would be the best Instagram video ever.
Yeah, it would.
I'm gonna Instagram this.
Oh, here we
Play
go.
wrecking ball while I'm spraying them
Oh,
with
it's
the
on
hose.
selfie. We don't want that.
And just have Gritty swinging. in
You
the
ready?
background.
Right.
I came
I wa-
like a red.
I want you to tell me what you think of the saison. Are you ready?
You can't like do this. Like I already did it and it was spontaneous.
You missed
and
the
now
fire.
It's like it's
Now it's just acted
hot
out.
fire.
Yeah, I can't do that. Sorry to disappoint everybody.
Fuck you.
Well, now, if anybody out
I'll
there
get it. I'll wait for it.
is
I'll
interested
wait
in
for it.
finding Pottstown United online, where should they go, Steve? Now that you embrace the internet.
Well, we've got, okay, I know, it's been a long time was coming, but I finally did. Pottstown United Brewing at .com. We also have a .com. We also have a Facebook page.
Sorry, a little late.
Sorry.
You have a Facebook page.
We have a Facebook page. Thank you, Wayne.
You're welcome.
On Facebook
.com.
slash
/
Pottstown United
Pottstown
Brewing.
And you'll find all our information there. We're on Instagram at Pottstown United Brewing Company. Pottstown United Brewing Company.
There's no dots
Yeah,
on
.com.
Instagram.
I know. I'm just like, dot. What else? God.
Are there any days of the week that you are not open?
We are not. We are open every day of the
7
week.
days a week. All right.
7
There's
days a
officially
week.
No excuse. You can find time in your damn schedule to get out here.
That's right. And we also, we're on Untapped. All of our beers are on Untapped.
Not untapped, but untapped.
Yeah, whatever. Untapped? What did I say?
You said no. I was just commenting on your inflection.
Sorry.
Rich asks, are you on MySpace?
Do you have a live journal?
What's your Zanga?
I don't know what those things are.
I don't even know what that means.
That's because that's when you didn't have
Look,
The interwebs.
real internet.
The moral of the story is if you Google Pottstown United Brewing, you will find
Yes,
all the
you'll
information.
find what you need to know.
Yes,
you
you
need.
will.
You will figure out how to get here, the best way to get here, and you should do that.
Yes, you absolutely should, and you should come back repeatedly.
We are actually open for lunch from Wednesday through Saturday. We have a brunch on Sunday.
Whoa.
Oh, nice.
You have brunch?
Oh, fuck yeah, we got brunch.
We got brunch up in this bitch.
we got brunch.
I
got
might,
brunch, bitch.
Oh, we got brunch.
I might need to come back for brunch at some point.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we also, like, because we serve everything, you're going to get your Bloody Marys, you're going to get your mimosas.
Beer mimosas.
Do you scrapple?
Do you
So
do
you don't have any
Scrapple
wheat
at
beers
your-
on
at
right
your
now.
brunch?
We don't.
So
But we also can get local quasi champagne because it's champagne style.
Well,
just
right.
like, you know,
Okay.
whatever.
Okay, right.
And we'll do that. We also do a lot. Actually, I'm not here too much on Sunday because
Yeah.
it's my day off.
because like you need to be home one
I need
day.
I need to be home
Yeah,
one day. If
fair
I'm
enough.
not, like, you know, but that's my one day. But it is we do have that, and it's fantastic.
Is there scrapple in the food menu at all that you know of on the brunch menu?
I don't care to comment at this time.
Okay,
about that.
that's fine. That's
But,
fine.
You know,
I'm not at liberty to say.
Oh God, I gotta come back and do brunch.
But, okay,
Holy
lunch,
shit.
brunch,
Dinner.
drinks, dinner,
you know,
all kinds of good
we
stuff.
were trying to do a English soccer league thing too, where we're legally allowed to open at 7:00 in the morning.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, we were doing the English Premier League
Right.
at 7:00 in the morning, doing
Yeah.
a full English breakfast.
Ooh.
And discounting our bitters for
Right.
the
So
Premier
like
League.
all like go England.
Go England,
Yeah.
do it.
all
you know,
like go England.
Yeah,
Right.
bangers and mash.
right? We had. I mean, we had eggs.
Mhm.
We had bangers. We had
Potatoes.
there's home fries. They're not mash. Not in a
Okay.
breakfast.
Okay, fair enough.
Christ, Wayne, get it right. Jesus.
Who wants mushy potatoes for breakfast?
Seriously, when you have baked beans
Ah,
and
beans on toast.
and mushy tomatoes or tomato.
Yeah,
As one
I
might
work with a
say.
British dude who actually legitimately says tomato. He's the first person I've ever met that says
Tomato.
It used to be a
weird.
New England thing, like a lot of like northwest, like northeast.
it. Somehow that doesn't
like
surprise
New
me.
England, yeah.
Well, I mean,
Interesting.
we learned to speak the language from them.
Pocket car for $1, tomato.
Yeah, right, right, exactly.
Hey, Dan, let's call the whole thing off.
Are we still doing this?
I think we kind of are. But
This is going to be the best after hours.
I can't
or
wait.
whatever.
I can't
After
fucking wait.
hours.
So for any,
I just have a request.
all right, go ahead.
If you're like a hardcore Beer Busters fan out there, and I know you exist.
Just give $1 just to listen to
No,
this
no,
I
last
know
call.
you exist, Joe.
There's probably like 3 of you. I actually honestly want to
Not
know
many, huh?
what episode. Yeah, right. Maybe 2. I want to know what episode it took us the longest from when we started outroing the show until we actually finished the episode. Because whenever we start talking about the social media and the websites,
Yeah, like that's normally like
where
the
can people
descent.
find you? That means okay, the show's about to end. But then sometimes it's like another 45 fucking minutes.
But it also depends on how the editing goes and like
Yeah,
how
that's
much
true.
of that ends
A
up
lot
being
of
an
it's
outtake.
edited out.
That's true.
But I'd
That's
still
true.
like to know.
I would
Yeah.
bet that it's probably mine from like the first time you guys were at my place. Down.
I didn't know what I was doing.
We
with
didn't really
editing
have
back
a
then.
routine
Yeah,
back
we were just
then,
kinda
so I
we
don't
didn't.
even know.
This was not a thing back then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This
It
organizational structure.
It's such as it is.
The fuck! I keep us organized.
Dude.
It was
You
still,
absolutely
it
do.
was, It was still one of my favorite days ever.
Dude, it was
Aw.
fun. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You
I
sang
remember
to
that day.
us, and
Yeah, you
then we
did.
took our picture, and that picture was in Beer Street News or whatever
Oh,
publication
that's right.
that
That's
was.
right. That's right.
And it made it look like we worked for
Thank
you.
so much.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was fun.
That
was
was
a
a
good
lot
picture.
of fun. That was one of the moments, like early on, we were like, "This is actually really cool what we're doing."
Oh,
Yeah.
well, it is cool what you're doing.
I feel like we kind of take it for granted sometimes. now.
Sometimes.
but
We
like
do.
back then, that was like,
When you
wow,
start-
is this really happening?
When you start getting into like routine of things and you start doing things like over and over and over again, and then like you make it a quasi business and then to a business, yeah, you take it for granted because it's you're doing it, and it becomes a job.
Yeah.
It's not like
yeah,
like,
but it never feels like this. Never feels like a job. It's always fun.
all right.
It's always fun.
It is, and the
It
deal
is.
was when it stops being fun. That's when we stopped doing
Exactly. And we're still
And I would
going.
like to clarify, I am doing it all for the nookie. Just so you know,
Who's Nookie?
whatever. I'm not picky.
it.
Well.
Stop. And you can call Beer Busters
You
at
could. 805-991.
805-991 beer.
Yep, at Beer Busters Podcast on the Facebook and the .com.
Ask for the Wayne.
There are the
Yes,
plenty
yeah.
of fish.
Yeah.
in the
Rate,
podcast
guys,
world.
rate and review all the podcasts you listen
Yes,
to.
do
Yes.
that. That is podcast currency, and it needs to happen. Steve, obviously, thank you so much for having us out here again, man. This was great.
Thank you. This is awesome. Thank you very much.
It's always a pleasure when you're on. I am Dan Baker. I am joined by my co-host and brewologist,
Steph Hefner.
and the demented and fermented
Wayne the Baker.
No squids were harmed in the making of this episode. Some backs were, but we'll see you next time.
Nothing?
Cornflakes.